The New Sports Center bringing you guys our Week 4 rankings for this 2024 college football season. Week 3 is wrapped up, and we'll be looking forward to Week 4 here today with our updated college football rankings. So with that, let's get started with 1 through 7. Texas number 1 this week. They beat UTSA big in Week 3. I feel like at this point, the way Texas has played, how dominant they've been so far this season, obviously can't forget the Big House win in Week 2. I feel like Texas should be number 1 at this current point. They could be the most complete team in the country this season. And I said this last week, I still think it applies this week. The gap between 1 and 3 is extremely close at this current point. I feel like, especially 1 and 2, it's basically a tie for the top team in the country right now between Texas and Georgia. Main reason, obviously, why I got Texas ahead is because of Georgia's struggles at Kentucky in Week 3. Beat them 13-12. I mean, considering Kentucky had just been blown out 30-6 by South Carolina, that was obviously a bit of a surprise there, seeing that game as close as it was. Georgia could have lost to Kentucky. That was very much something that could have happened on Saturday, but Georgia found a way and are still ranked as a top 2 team. And I still think they are a top 2 team in the country, despite those struggles there. I mean, we saw the way this team looked against Clemson in Week 1. So we know Georgia's legit. That was just kind of a sneaky game there that Georgia, I don't think, expected to be as tough as it was. Ohio State number 3 didn't play this past week. Still think they are definitely, I mean, you can make an argument they're the most talented team in the country. They just haven't played anybody yet. Tennessee number 4, though. This is where we go a bit different than the people. I think Tennessee is a true national contender this season, just based on what we've seen so far. This is a really dominant, complete team all around. Some young talent, but they are really a strong team this season. Beat Kent State 71-0, 65 points in the first half for Tennessee there. So I would say keep an eye on the Vols. The tough thing for Tennessee, though, this season is how stacked of a conference the SEC is. 6 of our top 7 teams this week are all SEC teams. So, I mean, they're already kind of in that second tier of the conference behind Georgia and Texas. So it's going to be tough for them to stand out, but they've got a true test this upcoming week on the road in Norman. Then Ole Miss number 5, kind of in a similar situation, I would say, to Tennessee. A really strong team all around. Beat Wake Forest 40-6, 3-0 start to the season. I could see the Rebels winning it all this year. So it's obviously a really good thing that we have a 12-team playoff because, I mean, otherwise, a lot of these really talented SEC teams really got no shot at winning a national title this season. Alabama number 6 beat Wisconsin 42-10. Wisconsin, usually a pretty good defensive team. Tide had no problems against the Wisconsin defense, and they're 3-0 on the season as well. Mizzou number 7 beat Boston College 27-21. A strong start for Boston College, and turns out that's a pretty nice win there for Mizzou. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston College, when it comes down to it, is a top 3 team in the ACC this season. So for Missouri, a nice ranked win for them, and I would say very much a top 7 team at this current point. Oregon number 8 beat Oregon State 49-14. Ducks finally look good. I would say this was the first game of the season where we really saw Oregon look like how they should. I feel like Oregon, talent-wise, is very much a top 3 team in the country. It's just about, can they get it together and find ways to really play well. And I feel like against Oregon State, we really saw that. And so at this point, keep the Ducks on your radar as well. They're very much a team that could still win it all this season. Talent-wise, they can do it. They haven't looked like it so far, but if they can get it going, this is a team to really keep an eye on. And then you got Miami at 9, beat Ball State 62-0. Very much the favorite in the ACC at this current point is Miami, Cam Ward. This is a team that has not disappointed so far this season. Penn State, USC 10-11. Didn't play this past week, but 2 really strong teams moving forward. Penn State kind of in a similar position to the last couple of years. USC, though, they had some noise this past offseason, but Miller Moss and this team is really, I could see them making a run this season for sure. K-State at 12, beat Arizona 31-7. Arizona's been disappointing so far, but K-State definitely hasn't. Really dominant win over, I would say, a really talented Arizona team. I like the Wildcats a lot this offseason, but obviously the coaching change, I think, has had a bigger impact than many expected. They just have not been the same team so far this year, so we'll see if Arizona can rebound, but Jed Fish not being in there It's just not the same team, it seems. Utah 13, Oklahoma State at 14. Your top three teams in the Big 12, all next to each other as of now, 15 through 21. Oklahoma at 15, nice win over Tulane, 34-19, and we're going to learn a lot about the Sooners this upcoming week as they take on a really strong and red-hot Tennessee team. LSU at 16. Beat South Carolina, did not come easily, though, 36-33, a 2-1 start. Obviously, the loss to USC is following them right now, but I would still say LSU's a pretty strong team this season. The problem is they are in a stacked conference this season where it's pretty tough to stand out. Notre Dame at 17 beat Purdue 66-7. Rebounded from that terrible loss to NIU. NIU could be a good team this season, but I mean Notre Dame could be ranked pretty highly right now considering they had that nice win in College Station. It just that NIU loss at home is going to really stick out, I think, for the rest of the season. Louisville at 18, Iowa State at 19. Both teams didn't play this week. I would say both teams are, Louisville's probably number 2 in the ACC right now. Iowa State could very well win the Big 12, though. K-State, Utah, and Oklahoma State are at the top right now, but Iowa State's kind of looming in the background. They're a strong team this season to really, I would say, that really could win the conference, honestly. Michigan at 20, beat Arkansas State 28-18. I feel like, Michigan's offense is going to be a big issue this year. Their defense isn't bad, though. I feel like at this point for Michigan, if they can get it together on offense, this still could be a pretty good team this season. Nebraska at 21, beat Northern Iowa 34-3, 3-0 start to the season. Nebraska could be a top 4 team in the Big Ten this year. They're a really strong team on defense. Their offense is much improved off of last season, so we'll see on Nebraska. This is very much a rising team right now. I would say they are, at this current point, a background college football playoff contender. 22 through 25, Clemson didn't play this past week, 1-1. Obviously the loss to Georgia really looms right now, but I would still say Clemson is a team with upside for sure. And then Illinois at 23, kind of in a similar position to Nebraska, very much a rising team. Beat Central Michigan 30-9, strong defensive team, 3-0. We see Illinois and Nebraska play this upcoming week, so that's obviously a matchup where the winner of that game is, I would say, very much into the college football playoff picture heading into late September. And then Texas A&M at 24, beat Florida 33-20. Nice win for the Aggies there, 2-1. This is a talented team. They, talent-wise, are very much a top 25 team. It's just a matter of how consistent they can be. And then Washington State at 25, knocked off the Huskies 24-19. Washington State's a sneaky good team this season. I feel like, it's obviously going to be tough to stand out when you're in the Pac-2, but the Cougars could be pretty good this year, 3-0. Blew out Texas Tech just before knocking off Washington. So Wazoo is very much a team I would say that's going to loom in the background this season. They could be pretty good. First 5 out, NIU, Memphis, UNLV. Those are your 3 main teams for, I would say, the group of 5 college football playoff bid at this current point. So we'll see how that ages moving forward. And then Cal and Indiana, 2 teams that really didn't have much attention this offseason, both undefeated, both playing really well at this current point. So keep an eye on both of them. Arizona dropped out this week, same with Boston College and Washington. But with that, let me know your thoughts and comments below on these rankings, anything you would change. And I appreciate you guys watching as always. My name's Evan. This is All Sports Central. Stay tuned for more. We'll catch you on the next one.